So here we are again. Welcome back to the second part of this video. Still only with one camera and sort of quickly done. Because we're still talking about the A7. So if you are new to this video, sorry, this is part 2. So go back one video if you want to see how we got here. But the idea is that I wanted to adapt one of the smallrig L brackets, in this case the 2236, which is the one with the flip door, to my A7R4. So you see the A7R3 and the A7R4. I also don't have my normal camera set up, so it's a bit weird. We only have one camera and I'm kind of looking left to right to make sure that the stream is up and running and stuff like that. Sorry for that. But I want to quickly show you when I got the A7R4 if you can actually adapt this and make a workable grip. So this is the A7R3 and you can see I now have the normal grip on there. So, and you can see that aligns quite nicely, and you want to do the same thing for the A7R4, but of course the grip is much bigger. If you want to see how much bigger it is, I would advise you to watch the previous video which I made 2 hours ago, which you see me putting the grip on without the extra modifications that I made. So let's put this one aside and take a look at the A7R4, what we ended up with. So I think it looks quite nice and it actually works quite nice. So let me turn it around a bit and you can see that the L bracket, so of course it's an L bracket, right? So you can see I put this gun tape on there when I get back to that, which if you are part of my channel is not new. You can see the L part, etc, etc. And the nice part about the about the 2236 is there's this door structure so that you can open that up and you can take your battery out. Luckily, this battery department on the A7R4 is much improved, so we don't need the weather sealing, which I also put in, at least not as much anymore. Still fun to have a second layer of water protection, so I still like that. But of course the shape was not perfect. And what you can see on the front now, that it is perfect. You can see that it lines now perfectly with the A7R4 all the way around, and if you hold it, and sorry that we only have one camera, you can see that my pinky problem is now gone, which was still available on the A7R4, and you can see that there's a perfect fit and it feels very comfortable again. Of course you can see that I have my Peak Design strap on there. I didn't take the silly L triangles off. I will do that and then put also on this side another Peak Design plug. And then we are up and running again, except we are now using an A7R4 and not A7R3. So if you have the 2236 L bracket and you want to adapt it, I will show you what I've done. After lots of research, basically getting a cup of coffee and figuring out what to do, I decided, and if you follow my channel you would have seen me use it, that the simplest way to prototype this was actually to use the same gun tape, which is, or grip tape, which is this stuff. You can buy it in strips. They're actually wider than this. So here you have the original ones. And it's very close to the material that Sony is using. Many of you have already owned these or have bought them. I think they were like $7 for 3 strips, if I remember correctly. Last time I bought like 24 by mistake, so I have many of them. So I decided that the easiest way for me to make this prototype is to actually, let me zoom it in a little bit so that you can see it. What I did is I just put lots of small tapes to reshape basically what I wanted it, how I wanted it, and yeah, then make the handle the way that I want. I'm not sure how long this will take. My guess is quite long because this stuff has been doing its job very well. But in a few weeks I will be visiting smallrig in China, and hopefully I can also see the factory. But I will at least visit the design team, and this can then act as a prototype for the follow-up version of this model for the A7R4, and basically tell them what I want. But because I really can't shoot anymore without having a solid grip, I decided to do this do-it-yourself job. So you can clearly see that quite easy I sort of made small parts of these. I cut them in different little shapes, put them on there, filled it in the correct area. Once in a while I did a whole sort of tape around so that it kind of is fixated in place. And then in the end I put a new cover layer on top of it. And you can see that it looks quite nicely, and of course it feels quite nicely again. So as you can see, maybe I will end up putting some glue on here, or letting some glue fall in to fixate it a bit more. Or maybe I will make this a little bit bigger so that you actually can't see the tape filling, or whatever you want to call it. But for this video that would have been a little bit counterintuitive, because then you could not see what I have done. Sorry that I'm not totally in the picture. Let me change that a bit. So to showcase how this basically changed, you can also see quite a massive change in the way that the grip is formed on the A7R4 compared to the A7R3. Yeah, this is what we ended up with. So let me open it up and show it from the inside. Of course, on the side I had to fix the holes a little bit so that my peak design goes out again. So the idea is that these peak design plugs, I can put them in if I want to, like this. Just push it in, and then it's in a safe space for me that if I don't want to use it, that I don't touch it with my hand. So let's open it up and you can see what's on the inside. Now don't look at this part if you want to know what that was about. That was about extra weather sealing that fits over here, which still works, by the way. But here the more important part, you can see also the same sort of filler space which all these small little pieces of tape have caused to reshape basically the handle, right? And again, it clicks close and it's done. So this is it. So if you really want to have a grip and you don't want to wait for this version, then this is the way to do it. If you already have a smallrig 2236, which is quite a nice part. I didn't test the front part yet. I'm pretty sure it will work, but the side part is okay. The bottom part is clearly okay. It fits totally perfectly, which you also have seen in the previous video, of course, except for the battery handle. Before somebody asked, but I think this is obvious, can you still take the battery out? Actually didn't test it, but I'm pretty sure we will be able to take the battery out, because the whole door construction makes that possible. You could also do this on the old design. So let me show that. So on this one, which is the cheaper version, and you can see that I didn't put the plug in, because I also normally would put a plug in because I feel it's nicer. But on the old design, this will be blocked on the new door. Because in this design we have this small little bump. I'm not sure if you can see this. There it is, you see. So that's totally shaped differently, and on the new battery, on the R4, that would actually hit. So does it work? Yes, but you have to take the L bracket off to basically use it. For the rest, in concept, you could probably also do the reshaping that I have done. But the good news for this one, so for the I wouldn't call it the cheap version, but the not pro version, and it's called the 2417, which will be shipping in 10 days. So this version, so the one part version, will be shipping in 10 days from smallrig. And it actually already has this rubber, even nicer rubber, already incorporated, and lots of other changes. So the reason for me to do this one with the flappy door is that I kind of prefer the flap door design, because this is smooth. And yeah, like I said, I wanted to test this out and give sort of a baseline of what I want smallrig to do next. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm quite happy to say that this has worked, I would almost say, better than I expected. Because that means that I can now jump to my A7R4 and start shooting with it and using it. Actually, I was so, well, I wouldn't say excited, but I want to show and test this so quickly, that I only took the camera out of the box. I still need to figure out if the battery and my charger and all the other stuff is in there. But yeah, it takes pictures, it works. Yeah, so tomorrow I can play around with it, but I did not want to shoot without the grip, because without the grip, as I showed in the previous video, I can also show it here by opening it up. Although I do think the grip is improved, you can still see that I clearly have this pinky problem thingy, and it just doesn't, let me zoom out a bit. For me, it still does not feel comfortable. So yes, the grip might be improved, but with bigger lenses, I think the balance, so this is about 170 grams, which I actually prefer. And if I close it up, and let me also show you why we put this hole there for the plug. So it's a little bit tight because it's, hopefully I did it correctly. I didn't test this when I put a tape on. Yeah, there it goes. It still needs to, but you can see now that it fits much better in the hand, and my whole pinky is sort of correctly aligned with the body, etc, etc. One thing that I noticed, which I enjoy so much that I want to let it show it, is how nice and soft the new shutter is. It's so much better. Listen, compared to the old one, the R3. Yeah, there's a battery in there, so let's see if it goes. Anyway, so thank you for watching, and so if you really can't live without the L brackets, or you already have the old L bracket and you're thinking about upgrading to the A7R4, this is definitely a workable solution, and I hope this video helped you out to see, to show you that's possible. The total cost in upgrading this L bracket using the trick that I've done is probably about $3 or $4. So that should not be the limiting factor, right? So thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.